You passed the challenge. Congratulations, you beat the rules, hit the target, got the email. Funded account activated, and now you are about to lose it. You have lived this before, multiple times, and you wondered why everything goes wrong once you reach the funded stage. Not because you are unlucky, not because the market changed, but because passing the challenge taught you the wrong skills. You should not approach the funded account the way you approach the challenge, because funded trading requires the opposite. Today, I am going to show you exactly why challenge success predicts funded failure, and I will talk about what you must do to break the pattern. Not from theory, from the brutal truth nobody tells you. Let's begin. 1. The profit target inversion. Here is what destroys most funded traders. The challenge has a profit target, 10%, 8%, whatever, and that target creates urgency. You are not just trading, you are hunting a number. Every trade is progress toward the goal. You check your P&L constantly. You feel the pull. The target is right there. Just a few more wins. And this creates a specific psychological state: focus, aggression, opportunity seeking. You cannot afford to miss setups. You cannot afford to be passive, because the clock is ticking and the target is waiting. And this mentality works. You hit the target. Having a clear target makes this easier. You pass. But this is a trap. Funded accounts have no profit target. You are free. Everything suddenly changes. Trade however you want. Take your time. And your brain does not know how to handle that. Because for the last 3 weeks while trading the challenge, you conditioned it for this, and now you are in a different situation. You must adapt and approach differently, but you do not. Your brain got used to operating the way it was wired during the challenge stage, and that is how it behaves. And this is just one of the ways to destroy your funded account. Meet Marcus. Passed his challenge in 21 days. 8% target. He hit it fast. Traded aggressively. Because deep down, he actually saw the challenge stage as a waste of time. Multiple setups per day. He had to go faster. Every win felt like progress. The target pulled him forward, got funded. Yes, he managed to get funded even though he was feeding wrong habits. Day 1 of funded, he opened the platform and felt nothing. No target to chase, no finish line, just open space. Clarity was gone. He was free, and his brain panicked because the structure was gone. So he did what he knew. He kept trading like he was still chasing a target. Multiple trades, aggressive size, opportunity seeking. But now there was no reward for speed, only punishment for mistakes. Within just 3 days, he hit max drawdown. The funded account was gone without a single win. Not because his strategy failed, but because challenge conditioned him to sprint. And funded required a marathon. Different skill, different pace. And he never switched gears. So he kept passing challenges, getting funded, and blowing accounts. And he thought the reason was bad luck. The profit target in the challenge is not just a rule, it is a psychological anchor. It gives your trading purpose, direction. And when it disappears in funded, most traders replace it with the wrong thing. They start chasing payout. This is my new target, and this is the first mistake, because payout is not a target, it is a consequence of the process. And chasing it creates the same problem: urgency, aggression, impatience, meaning acting instinctively and impulsively. And under these conditions, it is impossible for discipline not to disappear, the exact opposite of what funded trading needs. Funded trading needs process without destination, execution without urgency, discipline without a finish line. And if the challenge trained you to chase targets, you are not ready for that. 2. The rule set mismatch. The challenge has clear boundaries: max daily loss, max total drawdown, minimum trading days, profit target. The rules are tight, and you learn to operate inside them. You became excellent at staying within the lines, not violating daily loss, not hitting drawdown, executing just enough to meet the minimums. This is a skill, and you mastered it. But funded accounts have the same drawdown rules with a completely different context. In the challenge, drawdown is a failure condition. Hit it, and you restart. In funded, drawdown is a firing condition. Hit it, and you are done. No second chance. The psychological weight is different, because the result resets the entire process. A new challenge, and you start from stage 1 again. Very different psychological weights, and most traders are not even aware of this. Every time you get funded, blow the account, and go back to the beginning, you are unknowingly consuming yourself. Because this is a very exhausting process. Constantly pass stage 1, pass 2, get funded, and blow. Then go back to the very beginning. Pure stress. Psychologically draining. So we must manage these stages more consciously. Meet Sarah. Passed 3 challenges. She knew the rules cold, never violated daily loss, never came close to max drawdown. Got funded. First week she took a bad trade, down 2% in one day. In the challenge, this was normal. She had room. She could recover. But in funded, her brain screamed danger, because 2% felt closer to the edge, even though the rules were the same. Her risk tolerance collapsed. She started trading smaller, taking fewer setups, second-guessing everything, and her edge disappeared. She lost her discipline. The seriousness of being funded almost prevented her from taking trades. She was not as comfortable as in the challenge stage, not because the strategy stopped working, but because her psychology shifted. She went from confident execution to fear-based hesitation, and hesitation kills edges. She lasted 2 months. Slow bleed. Never recovered her rhythm. Not because she hit drawdown, but because the fear of hitting it paralyzed her. And the account finally blew. Here is the truth. The challenge teaches you to dance near the edges because you can always restart. Funded teaches you to stay far from the edges because there is no restart, and that shift requires a different relationship with risk. In the challenge, you learn to push. In funded, you must learn to protect. And most traders keep pushing because that is what worked until it does not. So the losing streak finds you when you get funded and blows your account. 3. The identity crisis. You passed the challenge by being a warrior, aggressive, opportunistic, never backing down. That identity got you funded, and now it is going to destroy you, because funded trading does not need a warrior. It needs a portfolio manager. And those are not the same thing. A warrior sees every setup as a battle to win. A portfolio manager sees every setup as a risk to evaluate. A warrior asks, "Can I take this?" A portfolio manager asks, "Should I take this?" Different questions, different outcomes. Meet Chris, challenge warrior. Took every setup that met his rules, aggressive entries, never hesitated. Got funded. First month, market conditions shifted. Choppy. Low probability. His setups appeared, but quality was poor. The warrior in him said, "Take them." The rules say yes. The portfolio manager would have said conditions are bad, sit out. Chris took them, lost slowly. Every trade a small bleed. By week 3, he was down 6%, frustrated, angry, and he did what warriors do. He fought harder, bigger size, more trades, trying to battle his way back to positive. 2 weeks later, max drawdown. Done. Not because he broke his rules, but because he operated with the wrong identity. He managed capital like a warrior manages a battlefield, and capital does not respond to aggression. It responds to patience. The identity shift is the hardest part of the transition, because your challenge identity is what got you here. And now you have to change it. You have to stop being the person who won and become the person who survives. And most traders cannot do that. They think, "I won the challenge by being aggressive, so I will win funded by being aggressive." Wrong. You won the challenge by executing a short-term sprint. You win funded by executing a long-term endurance test. Different race, different identity. The solution is actually simpler than you think. If you approach the challenge stage the way you approach the funded stage, you will not experience identity confusion. Yes, challenge stages may take longer, but when you get funded, you will not blow your account. We will touch on the details in the solution part. 4. The false competence signal. You passed the challenge, and your brain interprets this as proof. Proof that your strategy works. Proof that you are skilled. Proof that you are ready. But here is what your brain does not know. You might have passed on variance. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That is a tiny sample size. You could have gotten lucky, hit a favorable market condition, caught a good streak, and you have no way to know if your edge is real or if you just surfed randomness for a month. But your brain does not care. It sees the win. And it concludes competence. And that false confidence is lethal and funded. Overconfidence pulls your plug again. When emotions and impulses take the wheel as always, the inevitable happens. If you interpret 3 consecutive winning trades as variance rather than I made it, you will not fall for such a confidence illusion and will not make mistakes. Meet Alex. Passed his challenge in 1 week. Smooth equity curve, felt effortless. He thought I figured it out. My strategy is dialed. I am ready for funded. Got the account. First 2 weeks were rough. 4 losses, 2 wins, down 3%. And Alex panicked because in his mind, professionals do not lose. Professionals do not draw down. The challenge taught him he was a professional. So drawdown must mean something is broken. He changed his strategy, tweaked his rules, started second-guessing his edge, and spiraled. 3 weeks later, blown. Not because his strategy failed, but because he never learned that drawdown is normal. Here's the reality. Passing 1 challenge proves nothing. Passing 3 challenges proves a little. Passing 5 and staying funded for 6 months proves something. But most traders take the first win as validation, and validation without foundation is delusion. And delusion does not survive contact with real drawdown. Being funded does not mean the way you trade is correct and sustainable, but seeing the certificate feels like success and we think we are on the right path, when in fact we are only preparing our own end by feeding and wiring wrong habits. We just do not know it yet. 5. The money reality shock. The challenge is demo money. Fake. You lose, you restart. No real consequence. Funded feels like real money. The company's money. Actually, it is not real either. Both are demo money. But your split, your payout, your potential income. And for the first time, the numbers feel real. $500, $1,000, $2,000. Real money you can withdraw. And your brain cannot handle it. Because now every trade is not just a trade, it is a threat to your payout. Every loss is not just data, it is money disappearing. And that emotional weight crushes execution. As always, learn to be independent of the numbers on MetaTrader. They have no importance. What matters is that you are doing the right execution, and the rest is just data. If you focus on execution and worry about that, you will not even see the numbers. Your only concern should be managing the trade correctly. Numbers are just numbers. They mean nothing until they are in your pocket. If you are going to assign meaning to them, at least wait until they are in your pocket, because they are not even real until that moment. Meet Taylor. Challenge was easy, no stress, just execute the plan. Got funded. First week, made $400 unrealized. Saw the number. Started thinking that is rent. That is groceries. That is real. And fear crept in. What if I lose it? What if I give it back? Second week, a setup appeared, clean, met all criteria. But Taylor hesitated, because taking the trade felt like risking the 400. He passed. The trade worked. Would have made another 200. He felt sick. Next setup, same thing, hesitation. Passed. Worked again. By week 3, he was paralyzed. Could not pull the trigger, because every trade felt like risking real money. And he ended the month flat. 0 growth. Momentum dead. Not because he could not trade, but because the money became real. And real money activates fear, and fear kills execution. So become independent of the numbers. How logical is it for numbers to have this much effect on your trading skill when it is not even certain the firm will pay the payout? Think about that. This is the shift nobody warns you about. Demo to real is not just a technical change, it is a psychological earthquake. And if you have not trained yourself to treat real money like demo money, you will freeze. Or worse, you will overtrade to prove you are not scared, and both paths lead to the same place. Blown account. 6. The overtrading conditioning. The challenge rewards activity and conditions you for it. Why do you think minimum trading days exist? The firm wants to push you to trade more. You need to show consistency. You need volume to hit the profit target fast, so you learn to trade often. You get programmed for this. Every day, multiple setups. Stay active, because this is the right thing to do, right? And this works. You pass. But funded does not reward activity. It rewards quality, and quality often means doing nothing. Waiting. Watching. Passing on mediocre setups. But your muscle memory says trade, because the challenge trained you for this. Meet Jordan, challenge trader. Took 5 to 8 trades per day, high frequency, hit his target fast, got funded. Everything was fine. First month, same approach. But the market was different. Fewer A-grade setups, more B and C grade. Jordan took them anyway. Because sitting out felt wrong, because he got used to it, felt lazy. He was conditioned to stay active, and activity without edge is just expensive movement. Small losses, over and over. 1 month later, down 9%, close to max drawdown. He finally stopped, looked at his journal, realized 70% of his trades were low quality, taken out of habit, not conviction. The challenge taught him to trade often. Funded needed him to trade selectively, and he could not unlearn the conditioning fast enough, because he wired himself wrong to pass the challenge, and this was his end. This is actually the classic cycle. Everyone experiences this, I experienced it too. The challenge stage is actually programming us to fail in funded. It wants all our patience, our time, our discipline, so that when we reach the funded stage, we have no capacity left to perform. Because all the effort we put in until we get a payout goes to waste if we cannot get the payout. Passing the challenge has no reward if we cannot get the payout, and this process consumes us. It consumes and consumes. Constantly new challenges. Constantly going back to the beginning, we get exhausted. And meanwhile, we make our discipline impossible. We wire ourselves wrong. And this is, of course, what prop firms want. Let's face it, we are trading demo money no matter what stage we are in, and there is not even a guarantee we can get a payout. Even if we do everything perfectly, the firm can come out and say, I am not paying. Succeeding in this environment and conditions despite everything is not an easy thing. We need systems. And in upcoming videos, I will also explain the right approach to prop firms and risk management. Because if we do not go beyond the known cliches, we will be on the losing side like the majority. So what is the solution? If you just got funded or you are about to, here is what you do. First, kill the warrior identity. You are not hunting targets anymore. You are protecting capital. Remind yourself that you are protection-focused. Write it down. Read it every morning. I am a capital protector. Your biggest goal is not to get a payout, but to trade your funded account correctly for months, not a profit hunter. Second, cut your challenge tempo in half. If you took 10 trades per week in the challenge, take 5 in funded. Quality over volume. Always. Third, rehearse drawdown now, before it happens. Write the plan. If I hit 5% drawdown, I do this. Prepare risk management protocols. If I hit 8%, I do this. No panic. Just protocol. Fourth, detach from payout. You are not trading for the payout. You are trading to execute your edge. Payout is a side effect, not the goal. So the only thing that matters is discipline and process. Trading correctly. And if trading correctly will bring you a payout, it will bring it. That is all. All your focus should be on trading correctly. Payout is just a byproduct. Challenge is a test. Funded is a job. And the skills that pass tests do not always perform in jobs. So stop treating funded like a longer challenge. It is not. It is a completely different game. With different objectives, different psychology, different stakes. And if you keep playing the challenge game in a funded account, you will blow it. Not because you are not good enough, but because you are playing the wrong game. Recognize the shift, accept the shift, execute the shift. And maybe, just maybe, you will be one of the few who keeps the account. I want you to make a promise to yourself today. Set a goal for your next funded account. The goal is this. How many days did your previous funded account last? If it lasted 60 days, your new funded account must last at least 60 days and not blow. What I want you to focus on is your survival and operating your system correctly. Payouts will come anyway. Do not worry. Focusing on payout and only thinking about it just sabotages this process. So do not do this. Know that the numbers on the screen are not real and do not let them affect you. Because no money is real until it is in your pocket. There is not even a guarantee the firm will make the payment. There is no point in sabotaging your own process. Maybe you will not even get a payout. Maybe the firm will reject it. But at least in the end, you can say, I am wiring myself for correct trading. If you manage the process correctly. Thanks for watching. More detailed videos about prop firms are coming, and we will milk prop firms together. Do not worry.